Okay, welcome to Fahrenheit Performance Podcast episode number 18. Today we have Mr. Keane Ko here. He is a Team Singapore Athletics and Team Singapore Triathlon athlete, correct?
Hi.
Why don't you introduce yourself, Keane?
Hi. Thanks, Martin, for having me over. It's a pleasure to be on a podcast. It's my first, actually.
Is it?
So, yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about, because a lot of people, a lot of my circle are cyclists and triathletes.
Endurance athlete.
Endurance athletes in general, but I'd say 80% of the circle, I guess the podcast circle it will be those sort of people. But you are more of a runner, right? And you do duathlon and you do triathlon, but you are more of a pure runner, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you got started in running and where you are today. Because you are a very fast runner. You just did the 2 times U half marathon, right? In what? 112?
4 minutes.
So 74 minutes,
Yeah.
112, 114, right?
Yeah, 114.
And they got you, what, third place?
That place.
Overall?
Yep.
Okay. That's so, for most of us, we can do it in 130 maybe, or under 2 hours would be is a decent half marathon time, right?
Yep.
And you're 114.
I think what was surprising was the 2 days before the half marathon, I was racing like the Singapore Open.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so that was like a really big competition in Singapore. Because in Singapore Opens, you're up against athletes from Southeast Asia.
Yep.
They'll come down to Singapore to race. So I was racing in Singapore Open, and most of the athletes that I raced, after the race, they're like, oh, smash.
Yeah.
But I only had like 1 day recover, and I raced a half marathon in like 114.
So 114 is not your PB. What would your PB be then?
My PB was 112, 1 hour and 12 minutes set last year at the Gold Coast Half Marathon.
Okay.
Which was my debut half marathon as well.
Okay. And was that a hot race or was that a quite cold?
It was definitely cooler than Singapore. Okay. Nice climate. About, I think, below 12 degrees, below 14 degrees.
Okay, so it is quite pretty cool then.
Yeah, the humidity is definitely lower in over there lah.
Yeah,
Singapore is super humid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you came quite late to running.
Yep,
right?
19.
So you started running at 19.
Yes.
Wow, and then you're only what 23
23.
now. So
Turning 24 in July.
So how did you start? Like, how did you pick up running, and how did you get so fast so quickly?
I think it all started in like towards my last year in ITE, College Central. I think I was doing the NAFA 2.4.
Okay.
And I ran like maybe 9 minutes. It wasn't that fantastic, but I think one of the PE teacher who was happens to be a national coach for the sprints. His name is called Mr. Vira.
Okay.
He's a lecturer in ITE as well. He saw that I could run, and he invited me to like take part in the track meets hosted by the school. Like, to part in the track meet, I was up against those track and field people, and I was just like try to run against them.
So you'd never run before, and then you...
Yeah, I did play frisbee sometimes, and I went for the meet. It's called. Then after I came in like second. So like I think that really like caught eyes.
Yeah.
Because like that meet was really big. Like the stadium was so packed, and like people come down to cheer their teammates and stuff. Then like you have this guy who they never seen before coming in second. So from there I grew from strength to strength. Went into poly, met great people, met great mentors, guided me, and eventually I became.
So was it a matter of, did you find a good coach or did you find a good team, and is that how you sort of built yourself up? So what was the process?
I wouldn't say I found a good team. I would say it's more like how much I wanted it.
Because you're a complete novice, right? You don't know how to train.
Yeah.
So how did you sort of work out that? Did you watch YouTube videos, or do you research it a lot yourself, or?
I'll say most of the teams in Singapore, like I went to poly, all the polytechnic schools or the track teams are really strong. I would say when I joined in, it was more like I wasn't the fastest and I wasn't the slowest. I was like maybe the upper half, but at the same time, I had the desire and hunger in me to be the best athlete that I can be. And I'm proud of how far I came.
So you run long distance, right?
Yep.
So you're marathon, half marathon, 10,000 meters, 5,000 meters as well?
Sorry, just to clarify, I run the 5K, 10K,
Yep.
and the half marathon.
Okay.
I haven't tapped into the marathon yet.
Okay.
So I'm keen to explore my potential in the marathon.
So one day you will do the marathon.
Yes, I
But
think
you
end of the
haven't-
year.
Okay.
Currently my goal would be trying to qualify for the 2025 Sea Games Marathon.
2025. Okay. Next year.
Yep,
Yep.
next year. I
And
was-
how many slots does Singapore normally have for that?
the top 2 gets to go.
Okay.
Yeah, and currently I personally feel my batch is actually the golden era for like long distance running. Mm-hmm. Like this year and last year, I seen the most talent in like running itself.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so many athletes fighting for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like world championships, track meets overseas where they only have like limited people to send.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like the faster you run, the faster you get to go. So it's more like on a fair basis.
Yeah.
Like if you have the faster time, you get to go.
Yep. So, at the Sea Games, the marathon you'll be going for, right?
I wouldn't say I'm 100% going. I first need to qualify.
Yeah. So what's the process of qualifying for the Sea Games? Is there a qualifying races that you all compete against each other, or is it like if someone goes to the Sydney Marathon and gets a time, and then someone goes to the Seoul Marathon, for example?
Okay, so the window opens in September this year, and it probably close in like next year, maybe August, and around it. It opens for 1 year, and within a 1 year plus, you have to be the fastest time in a IAF sanctioned race.
So you can pick your race, like you can choose a particularly flat course on a cool day in a cool time of the year,
Yeah.
and target that race to be your fast race,
Yeah.
right? It's not the top 5 runners run a race against each other.
No, it's not. It's not like where they all come together and race and the top 2 go.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But the race have to be sanctioned race.
Yes, of
Meaning
course.
to say it has to be like a goal labor race or like a race of actual measuring distance that's actually accurately measured.
Accurate. Yeah. Okay. And so what are 5,000 meters and the 10,000 meters? Do you have any aspirations to do that at the Sea Games, or is it just you going all in for the marathon?
Currently, I always feel like my body is more tuned towards like endurance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm very strong in like speed-based stuff. I feel
So
like
5,000 meters and 10,000 is speed based.
yeah,
For you.
it's really like
For
very
me, they're not speed based.
it's really punchy, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like surges and like people are like trying to break one another doing it.
And they're on the track as well, right? The 5,000, 10,000. So you can. It's not like you're on the street course or anything like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Right.
Yeah, but recently there's quite a bit of road races. Park run especially. Highly recommend it to anyone who recreational or competitive. They welcome everyone of all similar abilities. Sorry, not similar abilities.
All ability.
All abilities. With your fast, or you're running like a 1 hour 5K. They still welcome you. You still get like an official time after the race. So I think that's really a good initiative by them.
I think that the running races just around the world are the big mass participation events, right?
Yeah.
Like the New York Marathon has got like 100,000 people nowadays. So something crazy, like some crazy number of people.
Yeah.
And of course, there's only going to be a few people that contend, and everyone else is just racing against himself.
Yeah.
Right. Which is great. And then So
Like what? Like the most famous marathoner said, Kipchoge said, let's make this a running world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody can run. It's like so-called the cheapest sport because all you need is really a decent pair of shoes, and then you just go outside and run, right?
Yeah.
So
You don't even need a Garmin watch, or you just need the shoes that I run. Yeah.
yeah, but shoes are getting expensive, but you don't need the expensive shoes.
The shoes are on another level nowadays.
So you told me one day that you run about 110 kilometers a week. Right? Most people run that in about a month.
Yeah.
That's consistently every week. So is that like a golden rule for you to stay at your level to keep that volume?
I think each individually works differently. It's just like last time when I was doing pure triathlon, my weekly mileage would be like maybe 50, 60, that kind. But recently, like ever since I went into like national service, and all I could do is just run. And me and my coach discussed like, let's try the different training program. My coach actually have a say, miles makes champions. So we decided to try something new, and this is the first time my training cycle I actually like hit like 110 kilometers.
And that's about 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
Right? About 10, 11 hours a week.
Yeah.
And so you just touched on it. You're a full-time NSMan.
Yeah.
Right? And how much more time do you have and it's one more year or so?
1 year exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, so you're on camp?
Yep.
Every day? So
Stay in.
Stay in. So stay in. So then does that mean you do whatever you need to do for the day, and when you're officially off duty, then you can run?
Yes.
And you can't leave the camp, or do you just run? Let's just say I don't know camps very well, but there's a camp in Monday Road, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you happen to be there, can you run outside the camp along
No.
Monday Road, or you got to stay in there and do something in there?
I gotta stay in camp and loop around the campus like a madman.
Okay, so if I looked at your Garmin or your Strava files, I'm not even sure if you're allowed to publish them if you're in camp, but
Yeah.
if you were, it would just be like loops and loops and loops of the camp.
Loops and loops around the concrete ground. Yeah.
And then you do
endlessly.
you do 110 kilometers a week roughly.
Yeah.
Mostly in camp.
Yeah. Most of my mileage ever since I entered into NS was in camp.
Okay, and that is only between like 9 o'clock at night and 11 o'clock at night or something when you're not actually active duty.
Yeah. Because I'm in a combat unit, so the operations are really high. There's a lot of things to do throughout the day.
Yeah.
But after like dinner, where we have more time for ourselves, I'll do like, it's called SRT. What's that called again?
You're asking the wrong person.
Self-regimented training. Yeah. So I do my self-regimented training by myself.
So most people would just go back and get their phone out and scroll TikTok or something, but you're out there running around the camp.
Yeah. And even my whole platoon will be in their bunk and just using a phone, eating Maggie mee, and I'll probably be like out running for like 1 to 2 hours.
Okay, so then you got another year of NS. What do you plan to do when you're done for the NS? Are you going to go to university? Or are you going to get a full-time job somewhere else? What are you going to do?
Currently I'm exploring my potential simply because like in Singapore I'm always competing that same group of people.
Yeah.
Like when I saw on the race, the guys on my left, my teammate. The guys on the right, I raced him like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I kind of know like everyone's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
So that's a bit like, it's kind of boring sometimes because like, I know what he's going to do to the race. I can more or less like know what he's going to run, what kind of shape he is.
Yeah.
But whereas if you go like Australia, you go to US, the top girls run faster than the guys in Singapore. Yeah. So I'm really really looking forward to like get myself there and see like how much faster I can get, because the pool of athletes there is enormous.
Yes.
Competitions are every weekend.
And it's a culture, like growing up in Australia, right? It's a very sporting culture. So on weekends and afternoons, people are always playing sport.
Yeah.
So that just grows, like having the bigger base of athletes just grows the number of people, elite athletes who are at the top, right?
Yeah.
That's why there's so many good triathletes and so many good runners coming out of Australia.
But also I think simply because Singapore is not really a sporting nation, even though like we are moving towards the direction, but our academics is still a priority.
Yep.
Like Singapore,
I think one thing that you don't see in Singapore is professional athletes, right? So let's just use Australia again as an example. You got professional cricket players, you got professional football players, you got professional everything.
Yeah.
But and you could be really smart, you could be really dumb, you could be something in between. But if you play the sport really well, you can make a living and be a celebrity just by doing that sport.
Yeah.
Right. Joseph Schooling is one in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
I don't think many people could name many other professional athletes in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do, where you can make a living of running one day?
That's a tough question simply because I think I would like to, as much as I want to make a living out of like running, I don't think it's like sustainable in the long run, because like once you miss that window of like period, like it's gone.
Yeah.
Time is not gonna wait for you, and like
like injuries would just set you back, and if you get, the older you get, the harder it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be young bucks coming in to compete again as well, right?
Yeah. So I would say like I would want to make running my rice bowl, but maybe I could work something related to sports, like maybe being a physio
or just in the industry.
Yeah. I'm still in contact with like my sport, that I'm able to help people to.
Okay. So when you finish NS, you want to just start competing around the world.
Yeah.
On races, just to pit yourself against others in your same category.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you do well, you'll just continue to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
also something like I think if I go overseas to like maybe for example study, I think Yeah, they're also more holistic. They are more like receptive towards sport and like in Singapore, if like you're in school, like maybe a secondary school kid, you have to take time off to go for like a meet. There's a lot of like emails forwarding back and forth, like, oh, this
To
guy,
get out of
yeah,
school,
to get out of school. And like, do you have to come back after the competition, that kind of thing?
Oh, so the meets are, I would have thought they put the meets after school.
No,
So,
they put like in the day, in the morning, and the afternoon. So
Okay.
like the kid will have to miss the class.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then sometimes, obviously, teachers won't be angry, lah.
Yeah. And I guess the better the school academically, the more angry they'll be
Yeah.
to miss the school, right?
Yeah.
So then, of those 10 hours a week of training that you do, how much of it is sort of focused interval training, and how much of it is like outdoors, just long runs, or how do you break up your training? Why don't you just give us a typical week of training? How you do it? What's easy run on a Monday, or what is it?
All right. So basically, after my basic military training, I was actually really a skinny guy. And after like the basic military training in national service, I lost like 5 kg of muscle mass. I came out of BMT looking like a bamboo pole that I haven't eaten for days. Yeah.
You're not very big now, so it must have been even
Imagine that I was actually even skinnier than this right now.
Okay.
Like 5 kilos gone. So
Wow.
like I didn't look like myself. I wasn't in a healthy place, and my mind wasn't doing well. My body isn't doing well, because as an athlete, you need like protein, and you need like highly nutritious food.
So if you started running when you were 19, but NS is shortly after that, right? Did you do poly for a while?
I took a long way to do my studies.
Okay.
I did like 2 years in IT and 4 years in poly.
Okay.
So that explains why I'm a bit late to
Okay.
to ORD lah. Yeah, that way.
So then your typical training week, how do you break it up?
And like currently,
Yes, currently.
okay, so I run every day. The lowest intensity week would be Friday.
Okay.
Because I need some time for me and my friends lah. I can't be running every day, and then like when my friends ask me out, and like, sorry, I gotta go run. So I'm a person that cherish my friends. So like when my friends ask me out, I try to say, hey, can we try to do it on Friday? Because I need a life. And like there's more to life than just running, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I like to drink beer. I like to go out for parties. I like to talk nonsense with my friend, poke my friends. Yeah. So
So on Saturday and Sunday you do long runs?
yeah, the longer stuff is always on Saturday and Sunday. I train twice a week on Saturday and Sunday. One in the morning and one in the afternoon.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And both of those are runs.
Yeah, both the runs. But currently now I'm heading into, I just finished a base phase of foundation work. So I'm heading into the strength segment of stuff. So there's a lot more weights, start to do more gym, and like twice a week, get my body strong. Because if your body is strong, you're able to handle the mileage. Yeah, because a strong body, you can, your body takes all the pounding from running on the road, right? So having a strong hamstrings or having a strong core helps to hold your form together, so your form doesn't break over time as you run. Yeah.
And I see you on the track every Tuesday or every other Tuesday, right? Is that what do you normally do when you go to the track? So I'm assuming your long runs are out in the street somewhere, but then you go to a track, would you be doing focused interval training, or what do you do when you go to the track?
Simply, okay, because I'm a stay-in unit, so I don't get to be on the track every Tuesday. Like you meet me on the track at like Evans Road, right?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so like the days that you saw me are like the camp give me like nights out.
Okay.
So I do get like nights out to go out with my platoon mates to go eat like hot pot or like do some fun stuff. But I'm always the one that not joining in. I will show up on the track. Yeah.
Okay.
That takes a little bit of a more disciplined approach lah.
Yeah.
Like I really want to like do well in my sport, so I probably have to sacrifice a few things lah.
Okay. And then I guess you've done quite a lot of racing so far, right?
Yep.
In this last 5-6 years. What do you what's advice to the average Joe that's just getting into the sport? Do you like for races and for training? Just general advice.
I wouldn't say like if you want to get into sport, you don't necessarily need to race. I would say running is a lifestyle. You can be just running to like keep fit. It helps your mental health and stuff. You don't necessarily have to race. I would say just enjoy the process. Enjoy running as it is. Unless you're on a competitive side, you want to race, by all means, go ahead.
But there's so many. So racing could mean a lot of things. It could mean, the Marvel Avengers 5K, or it could mean the Stand Chart half marathon. It could be the 2xU half marathon. It could be Hello Kitty run, right?
Yeah.
So, but they still need some sort of preparation. For it. Training wise, do you have any particular routes that you like to run when you are not in camp?
Okay. I think in Singapore, because we are city bustling, and most of our training grounds is like concrete and stuff. But if you're gonna run, I highly recommend like soft surface. Like maybe the really good running spots, I highly recommend like Ulu Pandan, Pandan Reservoir, one loop on the gravel.
Oh, the gravel track around there.
6 km.
I've done that before, and it feels like forever going around that Ulu Pandan, because you get to the other side and you can see all the way across the reservoir.
Yeah.
Is that 6 kilometers? Is it 6 kilometers for one lap?
Yeah, it's 6 kilometers for one lap. But it's beautiful because like nature really helps to calm the mind down. It helps to release stress as well. So I highly recommend.
And the gravel track makes it just a little bit less impact on
on your knees, your joints, and everything like that. Yeah. If you like the Marina Barrage, it's not bad. There's like a 14 km loop and the 16 kilometer loop if you want to top up.
Yep. And then I guess Bedok Reservoir as well. The
Bedok Reservoir I think is 4.8. Yeah. But I live in the west, so I run a lot in like Green Corridor. So the place there is like really soft and it's a good training spot.
Yeah, Green Corridor is good because you have the asphalt, and then on either side of it you got the sort of the dirt that you couldn't run in as well, right?
Yeah. And because Singapore is so damn hot, try to get like
some shade in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Green Corridor is like fully shaded, so I think it's a really good place.
And then for the average Joe, training wise, would you say just a couple of times a week, or finding a coach, or finding a training group, or finding some like-minded individuals, or a training partner?
For the average Joe that wanting to start out running, I think it's really important that you find people of
like similar ability.
Similar be one thing, and maybe find your support system, and most importantly, find what works for your body.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like most of the people in Singapore, I think they run too hard on their easy runs a lot.
I think that's in general. Like cyclists is the same way. The easy runs are not easy enough, which makes the hard ones not hard enough.
I think a good way to see whether you're training too hard is wear a heart rate monitor, and like see whether like you're in the right zones or something. But I think my philosophy will be easy means easy, hard means hard.
Yep.
Yeah. So
but then having some structure, then you're advocating for the average Joe to have some structure in their training runs, and not just do the same loop every single time, and not just go all in every single time. Vary it a little bit.
I think you can start with like running like 3 to 4 times a week. Start like maybe go for a jog, like 20 minutes jog around your neighborhood or something. Start from somewhere, because I think eventually when you start and you start to progress, your distance get longer, your speed get faster. So it all takes a step with start today.
And consistency, right?
Yeah.
So even if you do 3 times a week, and 2 of them are slow runs, like easy runs, and then 1 fast run.
Yeah.
But as long as you get used to Monday and Wednesday and Friday, for example, you can throw in a faster run on the Wednesday instead of a slow run, and then because you're used to the 3 times a week, the consistency, you can sort of vary it up after that and get faster and faster, right?
Yeah. And I would say like, don't get disheartened, or like you feel, at some point you feel like they're not improving or something like that. Personally, I myself, I actually just came out of my darkest moment of like my entire career. I only started like training like in February, like this year, and I showed up for my race, and I ran the slowest time of my entire life.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
the recently
in February earlier this year.
Okay, in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the slowest race I ever ran. In my slower than the time that when I started running. I ran. So
what happened? Was it just as you just mentally weren't focused on the day, or was it just fitness?
I think it was just a fitness drop, a really tremendous fitness drop, and I picked myself up, thankfully, with my coach. He came to talk to me, and I actually almost retired, to be frank, because like 2 years in NS is a long time. Yeah, if I miss this window, like 2 years, if I don't do anything, when I finish, I won't be able to catch up.
Oh yeah, of course. So if you're running in camp every night and doing your 10Ks a day in camp right now, by the time you finish your NS, you'll be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd probably be a stronger athlete before I went NS. Yeah. So it's either I maintain. Currently, I'm maintaining my form from last year.
Yep.
But I would like to get better.
Of course.
Because my teammates are actually getting better from like last year with the amount of time that I lost.
Yeah. Okay. And then how about, what do you do for recovery? If you're running every single day, 10Ks a day, right? How do you recover? You got NS the next day. You got duty the next day, right? How do you recover in time?
And that's a really good question. My muscles get really tight, especially after like intervals and running long period. I see a physio once a week, mainly like Friday night or like Saturday early morning. Like I really try to book in a physio to loosen up my back, my glutes, and like having too tight muscles are not good because like it restricts your range of movement. And you don't want to be like having a physio actually helps to improve your mobility and your flexibility. So it helps injury prevention in the long term. But if you don't have money to go to see a physio or something, I would highly recommend like doing yoga. Yoga, do some watch some YouTube videos and do some stretching.
I think that on the YouTube there's quite a lot of stretching routines you can probably get out there, right?
There's a lot
mobility, especially for the legs and the core. Right. You can and that will all help your running.
Or you can do foam rolling. Get a massage gun, hit on the right point, and I think that is really, really good as well.
Also, you coach a little bit, right? So you're wearing your Club Zoom track and field T-shirt right now, right? Mostly kids, right? You're helping out. Just helping out the team. Is that the team that you used to run for when you were younger as well, or?
Okay, this club I've been with since I started running in 2019. I was basically like a nobody. But they choose to take me in and like they groom me and they supported me when I go for races. And it goes like the small little things goes a long way. So I only started coaching in fact like last year September. Where like I actually had a bit of passion. Like, I do want to give back to the community and I see the kids being the future of athletics. And also like I volunteer my time to the club to help groom the
just help them out because they helped you out before, right?
Exactly. Pay forward. That's the right word.
Okay. Another thing, so I remember having a conversation with you a while ago about the rise of the influencers, right? So I had Zul Awab here for episode number 6, and one of the things he said to me was that he doesn't cycle so much because he feels that every time it's a fashion show out there, and I guess what he was referring to was that there are a lot of people in the sport, in cycling, and probably athletics, or not athletics, but in running in general, that seem to be doing it not necessarily for
the benefits,
right? They want to do it to be seen, and that's what he's saying in the fashion show, right? In running, I think there's quite a lot of influences building up around the world, in Singapore as well, right? What's your, from an athletics point of view and from a long distance point of view, what's your sort of opinion on all of this?
I would say I do meet the influencers on the way. Like when I show up to a track and stuff, like this don't seems that receptive of like the I won't call myself a real runner lah, but maybe like a more higher level performing athlete. They don't seem to like want to talk to me that much, even though like they definitely know who am I. And
because like, so I was just looking at some of the international influencers that I know, right? David Goggins, he's got 11.4 million followers.
Oh my.
Matt Choi, he's like a marathoner, American. He's got 335,000 followers. Another one called Fashion Jogger. She just, pretty girl, runs a lot. She's quite a good runner. She's got 2.3 million followers. So these guys obviously are doing something right to have, for having all these people follow them, right? And they're running pretty well, right? Do you think that's good for raising the whole profile of running in general?
Okay.
Or I'm not sure if they're doing it they couldn't be doing it for free.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Yeah. To me, I think I was also guilty of this as well. I think as from a fashion point of view, look good, feel good.
Yeah.
You look good and you're running apparel, you look good and you look in the mirror and you see yourself like, wow, I look great today. You naturally run faster.
Yeah.
Naturally 100%. Like you're wearing new shoes and you're wearing this really nice singlet, really nice shorts and that really gives a performance boost. So I think it's good to actually like feel good about yourself because it helps to raise your confidence and I think it's a really positive thing to do lah.
Okay. So just having so many followers and having them sort of having more eyes on them just helps the sport in general.
Yeah.
But
it draws eyeballs to our sport actually, which is good because like track and field we need more eyeballs on our sport.
Okay. Because just in general, track and field is not. I wouldn't say it's one of the glamorous sort of. It's the most popular sport in the Olympics. I would say.
Yeah.
But in terms of like comparing it to professional football or baseball or basketball, you guys wouldn't get paid anywhere near the same thing, right? So
the Premier League player.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Usain Bolt or these guys get paid a lot, but there's only
a handful.
Handful of them, right? I guess there's a weird line between an influencer that gets paid a lot to just run in general, and then the actual athletes that are on the sort of pointy end of the spectrum, or like the pointy end of the race, that are running really hard, and then they're not actually getting paid all that much, right? What's your
there's a line
it's a
between
weird
the
balance,
athlete
right?
and the influencer and I feel like as running brands invest in like social media influencers and professional athletes, runners face new opportunities and challenges. I mean, coming from my point of view, like, that's just me. Sometimes I do get like, when I hear how much like running influencers make compared to like pro runners, like it makes me also want to be an influencer. Because like I look at like US like the Olympic champion, for example, comparing to like a running influencer, like the running influencers actually get more likes than
It's funny, right? That the pure athletes are getting less attention than
maybe even lesser pay than the running influencers.
So then why would you want to be a pro athlete and not be a running influencer, right? For example, right?
Because I think because like as an athlete myself who trains like so many hours, we already like so concentrated on the workout, like focusing on hitting the splits, hitting the training intention of like the tempo run, I have to hit like this pace. We're so busy with like spending long hours on our training. When we finish our training, we just did. It's like getting a nap, man. We don't have the time to like be scrolling on our phone all the time to be like creating content lah. Whereas like if you're running, I mean, I'm not gonna say names, but if you're running influencer and you're running like 10 minutes, and then you're just taking photos all the time. Obviously, you have more time than the guy who trains for like 2 hours, what?
Yeah, and I guess there's no accountability on their results either, right?
Yeah. We don't know like how much you're running because I actually like have my data to like show like, oh, I run like 10 miles today.
Okay, so what next for you, Keane? What's up for the next year? You're going for the marathon next year. Any other big races that are coming up?
Any big races, because like I'm in the military currently, so like a lot of things are really restricted. Like I was supposed to like go for like the meet like in Hong Kong this week, but I had to pull out like last week. I had to, like say like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't go because like I could only go for one competition, which within that short period was I ended up choosing Singapore Open because I didn't know where my fitness was.
And you're a Singaporean doing the Singapore Open, right?
And I was the only representative on the Singapore team. So I knew I had to show up lah. But I'm happy where I am in terms of like the progress. I'm just
because by the time the SEA Games comes around next year, it's in December, right? You'll be done with the NS. But you also have to qualify while you're still
in national service.
While you're still in NS. So then that's you've already earmarked Gold Coast Marathon for that.
I don't have a lot of leave left. I think I had like less than 10 fingers. So I gotta like it's kind of like laying all my eggs in one basket at the moment. So I'm actually targeting. My coach is actually monitoring my progress very closely.
Yeah.
So like when he thinks I'm ready, he'll probably tell me to like oh, we're gonna try this now. So I'm actually like really trusting my coach a lot.
Yep.
I communicate with my coach on like a weekly basis. We get on Zoom call and like I tell him how my training went, and he will give me feedback and stuff like that. Yeah. But currently, at my current moment is making the best use of what I have.
Yeah.
Control what you can control. That's a really powerful word, and yeah.
Hopefully you're one of the top two at the end of the year or this time next year, right?
Yeah, I hope so too.
Okay. Okay, man. Thank you so much for your time. I guess I'll see you on Tuesday nights on the track again one of these days, okay?
All right.
Okay,
We can go for beer.
Yeah.